Imagine sitting in your room, thinking you know the world around you, and then suddenly realizing that the very things you thought were ordinary are not what they seem. Science has a way of surprising us, flipping our understanding upside down and showing us truths so unbelievable that they almost sound like science fiction. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 unbelievable science facts that will truly blow your mind. And as we go through them one by one, you will see the universe in a completely new light. So let's begin. Fact 1. Bananas are berries. But strawberries aren't. Yes, it sounds like a joke, but it's pure science. According to botanical classification, bananas meet all the requirements to be called true berries, while strawberries don't. Now let's understand why a berry, scientifically speaking, is a fruit that develops from a single ovary of a single flower. It has multiple seeds embedded within its flesh. Bananas fit perfectly into this definition. They grow from one ovary, have their seeds inside, and are soft throughout. Strawberries, on the other hand, are considered aggregate fruits because they develop from multiple ovaries in a single flower. The tiny little dots you see on the surface of a strawberry are not seeds in the true sense. They are actually individual fruits called achenes, each containing a seed inside. So next time you peel a banana, remember you're technically eating a berry. And when you bite into a strawberry, you're enjoying something entirely different. Strange, right? But that's how nature works, always full of surprises. Imagine showing off this fact to your friends and watching their jaws drop. Who would believe bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't? Fact 2. A hidden ocean. Beneath the Earth, we look at the oceans on Earth and think we've seen it all. Vast waters covering 70% of the planet. But here's something that will shake your understanding. Scientists have discovered that deep below the Earth's crust in the mantle, there exists a massive reservoir of water, trapped in a special mineral called ringwoodite, and this water is not small in quantity. It is estimated to be nearly 3 times larger than all the oceans on the surface combined. Yes, let that sink in. Imagine an ocean bigger than all the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, and Southern Oceans together, hidden hundreds of kilometers below our feet. This discovery completely changes the way we think about the water cycle on Earth. It suggests that Earth's water may not have entirely come from icy comets or meteorites, but instead might have been locked deep within the planet since its formation. Think about it. While we humans are struggling with water shortages on the surface, beneath us lies a gigantic secret ocean, unreachable but real. This fact alone shows us that no matter how advanced science becomes, the Earth still hides mysteries beyond our imagination, and one day, who knows, this hidden water could even play a role in saving humanity. Fact 3. Your stomach renews its lining every few days now. Here's something that connects directly with your body, something happening inside you right now without you even realizing it. Your stomach produces very strong acid, known as hydrochloric acid. It is so powerful that it can dissolve metals like zinc. Imagine the acid inside you could eat through metals. Then how does your stomach survive? How does it not burn a hole in itself? The answer is fascinating. Your body has an extraordinary self-defense mechanism. The lining of your stomach, the mucous membrane that protects it, is constantly being replaced. In fact, every 3 to 4 days you get a brand new stomach lining. This means your body is renewing itself on a regular basis to protect you from your own digestive power. Without this renewal, your stomach would literally digest itself. Isn't that unbelievable? The very organ that helps you break down food is strong enough to destroy itself. Yet science and biology have designed a system so perfect that your body remains safe. Next time you enjoy your favorite food, remember that your stomach has been preparing for that moment, shedding and rebuilding itself to keep you alive and healthy.
Fact 4. Octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. Octopuses are some of the strangest creatures in the ocean. And here's the unbelievable part. They don't just have 1 heart like us, they have 3. 2 of these hearts pump blood through the gills, where oxygen is absorbed, while the third pumps it through the rest of the body. But that's not the only surprise. Their blood isn't red like ours, it's blue. This is because instead of iron-based hemoglobin, they use copper-based hemocyanin to transport oxygen. Copper works better in cold, low-oxygen environments, which is exactly where octopuses live. Here's another twist. When an octopus swims, the main heart that pumps blood to the body actually stops beating. That's one reason they prefer crawling instead of swimming, because swimming tires them out quickly. So next time you see an octopus in a documentary, remember, you're looking at a creature with 3 hearts, blue blood, and a biology that almost feels alien. Fact 5. There's enough DNA in your body to stretch to the sun and back. Your body is made up of trillions of cells, and inside almost every single one of them is DNA. If you took all the DNA from one cell and stretched it out, it would be about 2 meters long. Now imagine multiplying that by the roughly 37 trillion cells in your body. The total length would be about 67 billion miles. To put that into perspective, that's enough to stretch from the Earth to the Sun and back, more than 350 times. It's mind-blowing to think that so much information, the very code of life, is packed into microscopic cells. Every instruction that makes you who you are, from the color of your eyes to how your body functions, is written in that DNA. It's like having an entire library squeezed into a tiny space, perfectly folded and stored inside your body. The scale is so enormous it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Fact 6. The sun is actually white, not yellow. When we draw the sun as children, we always color it yellow. Even most adults imagine the sun as yellow or orange. But in reality, the sun is white. It emits all colors of visible light at once, and when combined, that appears white. So why do we see it as yellow from Earth? Because our atmosphere scatters the shorter blue wavelengths of sunlight, making the sun look more yellow or orange, especially at sunrise and sunset. If you were in space, outside Earth's atmosphere, you would see the sun shining in its true color, bright white. It's a small fact, but it changes how we picture our star. The sun, the very source of life on Earth, doesn't look the way we've been drawing it all our lives. Fact 7. Sharks existed before trees. When you think of ancient life, dinosaurs usually come to mind. But here's a shocker. Sharks are older than trees. Sharks have been around for more than 400 million years. Trees, on the other hand, evolved about 350 million years ago. That means sharks were swimming in the oceans millions of years before the first tree ever grew on land. Sharks have survived 5 mass extinctions, adapting and thriving, while countless other species disappeared forever. It makes you realize just how tough and resilient they are. Next time you hear about sharks, remember, you're looking at a living fossil, a species that has outlived even the mighty dinosaurs. Fact 8. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. This phenomenon is called the triple point. It happens when temperature and pressure are just right for water to exist in all 3 states, solid, liquid, and gas, simultaneously. It sounds impossible, but scientists can demonstrate it in labs. At this precise balance of conditions, you can literally see water boiling and freezing at the same time. It's one of those rare scientific facts that seem to break the rules of common sense, but it shows how strange and fascinating the laws of physics really are. Fact 9. Space smells like burnt steak. You might think space is empty and has no smell at all. But astronauts who return from spacewalks often report a very distinct odor on their suits and equipment. They describe it as smelling like burnt steak, hot metal, or welding fumes. Scientists believe this comes from high-energy vibrations of atoms in space, especially after exposure to atomic oxygen. Of course, you can't directly smell space because there's no air, but the scent clings to astronaut gear when they re-enter the spacecraft. It's strange to think the final frontier has its own smell, and it's nothing like what you would expect. Fact 10. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on Earth. Look at a beach and imagine all the grains of sand. Now think of all the beaches and deserts on the planet. The number of sand grains is beyond counting. Yet, scientists estimate that the number of stars in the observable universe is even greater. There are about 100 billion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. The total number is so vast it's almost impossible for the human brain to truly comprehend. When you look up at the night sky, you're only seeing a tiny fraction of what's really out there. This fact puts our place in the universe into perspective. We are living on one small planet orbiting one star among countless others.